So we are working on problem number 9. Mrs. Schreck bought some paint. She used 3 1/3 gallons painting her living room. After that, she had 4 4/5 gallons left. How much paint did she buy? So once again, we are going to start off with our sentence. And you can see that I have the sentence that says, Mrs. Schreck bought gallons of paint. So again, I want to think about what I need to do to solve this problem. Remember, our tape diagrams are good ways to organize the information which will help us to decide what operations we will need to do. So if I think about this, I know that she had her living room and then she had a part of paint that was left over. And I need to find out how much she bought altogether. So I can look at this as a part-whole model. And I can say that this is the living room paint. And I'm going to draw this one just a little bit different. That's the living room paint. And she had 3 1/3. And she had left 4 4/5. Notice that I'm drawing that one a little bit longer because I know that she had 4 4/5. And then I'm going to look and I need to decide how much she had altogether. So I know that I need to find that total of those two bars. Notice I did this just a little bit differently. I wanted you to start thinking about different ways that we could use tape diagrams because you will see some of these ways later. Okay? But we need to know that total. So we know that we need to add 3 1/3 plus 4 4/5. So again, we've learned many different strategies for adding and subtracting mixed numbers. We can look and we can say, I am going to add my whole number, so I'm going to add 3 plus 4 first, and then I'm going to add 1/3 plus 4/5. That's one strategy that I can use to add those mixed numbers. So when I add 3 plus 4, I know I get 7. But I cannot add those two fractions yet because I do not have a common denominator. Remember, that's what I'm always looking for. If I have a common denominator, I'm good. I can start adding, I can start subtracting. But I don't. So I'm going to do my work off to the side. I need to find that least common multiple because if I find the least common multiple, that will also be my least common denominator. I'm going to start with a bigger number, 5. So the first multiple of 5 is 5, which does not work with 3. 3 does not divide evenly into 5. Next multiple of 5, 10. 10 does not work because 3 does not divide evenly into 10. And then I get to 15, and yay, 15 divided by 5 would give me 3. I've found my common denominator. So now I need to convert those fractions. I need to know what 1/3 is as 15ths, and I need to know what 4/5 is as 15ths. So I need to stop and ask myself, what version of 1 do I multiply 1/3 by? To get 15, I multiply 3 times 5, so I need to multiply that numerator by 5 also. So 5/5 is the version of 1 that I would use. I get 5/15 for 1/3. Remember, I want to write it right underneath so that I can show that equivalent fraction. I need to do the same thing for 4/5. I need to know that version of 1, and because 5 times 3 equals 15, I know that 4 times 3 equals 12. So 4/5 equals 12/15, and again, I'm going to write it right underneath. So now I'm set. I can add those fractions. I have common denominators. I still have my whole number 7. I don't want to lose that. And I know that 5/12 plus 5/15 plus 12/15 would give me 17/15. So right there, I have a good, correct answer, but I do need to simplify. I need to know what 17/15 is as a mixed number. So remember, I can divide the numerator by the denominator. I can find out how many 15ths are in 17. I know that there's 1, which means there's 1 whole. When I subtract, I have 2 15ths left over. I have 2 15ths left over. So I have 1 and 2 15ths. So I know that this equals 7, don't want to lose that, plus 1 and 2 15ths. So I know that my final answer is 8 and 2 15ths. So that means that Mrs. Shrek brought 8 and 2 15ths gallons of paint. And does that seem reasonable? If I look and I think about what she started with, she had 3 and 1/3 plus 4 and 4/5. 3 and 1/3 is about 3. 4 and 4/5 is about 5. So if I'm thinking in my cloud, I have about 3 plus 5, which is 8, and that's what I got for my answer. So it does seem reasonable.